This week on Your Town, New Brunswick, we're going up the St. John River Valley, just above the Nackawic Dam, west of Fredericton. The building of the dam changed that part of the valley and the lives of the people who lived there forever. Thousands of acres of rich farmland went underwater. 65 families had to move. Some went to the new town of Nackawic, built from scratch in 1966 by the federal and provincial government. Get Young has prepared this look at life, how it's changed and how it stayed the same in the Nackawic Pokiok area.
Neil Burden's roots are here. He's lived in Pokiok for 80 years, against the backdrop of the St. Anne Pulp and Paper Mill in Nackawic. The coming of the mill in 1970 and the construction of the Nackawic Dam in 1967 didn't change his way of life. He was able to keep farming and lumbering. Even now, at 83, he still takes a neighbor's cattle out to pasture every day.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on.
His recollections of the past are vivid.
Well, we had a nice village here, and everybody was, you know, fairly prosperous. Nobody was really hard up or anything. We always had work. There was no unemployment around here.
That was before the construction of the Nackawic Power Dam flooded much of the St. John River Valley, covering in its wake stretches of farmland and all historic sites. About 65 families had to be relocated. There was a bit of resentment then.
I know my mother wasn't in favor of it, and there was two or three more, but they were older people, and they didn't like to be displaced and moved.
The contrast between the old and the new is a trait of the Pokiok-Nackawic area. Patricia Lawson and Gail Farnsworth researched the history of the area and published this book, The Nackawic Bend. The red line shows the limits of the floodwaters. The communities of Carleton, Lower Southampton, and Culleton disappeared from the map. The authors reconstructed the past by relying on old pictures and personal accounts told by the elderly of days gone by. Pokiok was famous for the Pokiok Falls. What used to be a great tourist attraction is now a babbling brook.
The old wooden dam in the mill is right there, with that pile of rock, and there was a drop of about 60 feet. And then they had another drop here of another 15, and where the old bridge used to be, it was 75 feet down the water.
Other vestiges of the past disappeared, engulfed by the floodwaters of the Nackawic Dam. It was the price to pay for progress.
Well, the old river bridge is right down where that road comes down, and the Army came up the 1st of November 1966 and blew it up. And there was 21 houses and the store and the garage right down in this little cove behind that pine tree.
When the dam was built, the river not only swallowed a lot of valuable farmland, it also buried some historic sites. The Monroe House is one of the only remaining historic houses in Nackawic. It was built around 1868. Leona Monroe lives in John Monroe's house, a Scot who arrived here in 1831 at the age of 10. The house, which stands in its original spot, was passed on through the generations to her now-deceased husband. Before the dam was built, she and her husband did mixed farming and raised cattle and hens. What was once fertile land is now Otis Drive in downtown Nackawic.
We had to dispose of the barns and all the outside buildings and get rid of the animals and any machinery there was.
Over the years, new buildings sprung up. A town hall and a senior citizens' home. A baseball field was built and tennis courts. The face of Nackawic has completely changed, and even the more reluctant to change had to adjust.
Oh, I like it better now, and I'm pleased now that we live in the town, because since I've been left alone, I wouldn't want to live like I did on the farm. I couldn't live here. I just wouldn't be able to stay here.
There was a lot of anger, confusion, and uncertainty when the dam was being built and the new town site being planned. But now, the town is beaming with community pride. Nackawic is a brand new town carved out of the old. A lot of historic sites may lie underwater, but the sense of community is very much alive. Huguette Young, CBC News, Nackawic.
Rose will be here with the weather. Chris will have the sports, and I'll have more news.